Hello, guys, and welcome to the 46th edition of the SoK podcast. We have five mentally ill motherfuckers here tonight, including Miss Alice. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. I have a fantastic cast here tonight, and I'd like to thank the viewers for coming as well.
We have Mr. 45 Fuck. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good.
We have Mr. Carson Miles. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, Lester? What's up, everybody? How's it going?
Usually we would have 40 boy, but he is busy. He is on a presidential assignment, so he is unable to talk right now. But we do have the vice president of the SOK, Mr. What Respective PC Shay. How you doing, buddy?
How you doing? It's a comfortable position, man.
Yes,
All I do is count the stacks.
Yep, I imagine that will be so.
All right, folks. Well,
And we also have Dr. Fizz.
You
How you
were
doing,
gonna
buddy?
forget about me.
No,
I-
no, no.
I'm doing
No.
good. I'm doing
Excellent,
good.
excellent.
Yep. You were
Now
gonna forget
I will
about me.
And now I'm going to take it over to say before I mess up even more.
all right. All right, folks. Well, the first topic we are going to get into tonight was our favorite person in the world, Dark Side Phil. You see, he wanted to do something special for Metal Gear Solid 4. And what was that special event he was talking about? Oh, I know what it was. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. You see, I am a noob when it comes to the Metal Gear Solid series. I still have to play 4, so please, Lord Kojima, don't fucking shock me with lightning. But he decided to name his stream, "This is how you don't play Metal Gear Solid 4." I kid you not, folks.
5.
He 5. He decided to name his stream, "This is how you don't play Metal Gear Solid 5." I wonder if AJ can get him for copyright. And this is a funny thing, right? Didn't he claim, right, that this is how you don't plays were quote unquote indirect with almost getting them shot in a supposed swatting? Wasn't he claiming that this is how you don't plays were a part of ruining his business? He talked all this shit on AJ. He claimed that AJ, the creator of this is how you don't play, was mentally ill and he thought he was gonna break into his house and do physical harm to him. But a little bit later, he's using this as his tagline for the last Metal Gear Solid game. What do you folks think about that?
Well, I think you can officially count this as suicide if we're trying to kill him. He labels it as "this is how you don't play," and he's pointing the gun right at himself.
Damn.
No, but I mean, I'm gonna use his own logic against him. That's gonna be straight up. But I can pretty much tell you the only reason he's doing this is he wants to have his stream show up in the "This is how you don't play" search results.
Of course.
But-
of course.
It's pathetic, though. I mean, you have to think about it. When people think this is how you don't play, they think of well-edited videos with, the creator's own personal touch because, every This Is How You Don't Play is not only a compilation, a well-edited compilation, well, a lot of them, of Phil's fuck-ups, which what most people watch him for, but they also had their own personal touch of editing, their own fingerprint, if you want to say that. So that's them, that's their style. That's how, the best ones get known. But this guy, he just slaps it onto his unedited LPs and thinks he can call it "This Is How You Don't Play." This is a desperate attempt. This is coming from a desperate man. And let me tell you why I think this is desperate, because DSP is a prideful guy. He's someone that he's prideful. He will do whatever he can to not acknowledge something if it so-called harms him. So there's no way he would be using the "This is how you don't play" tagline or whatever if he wasn't desperate for views, because he would have already done that already. You know what I mean? This is just a desperate attempt to try to get as much attention for Metal Gear Solid 4 as he can. Metal Gear Solid 5, god damn it. But
You're gonna make that mistake like 10 times, so don't worry about it.
forgive me, Kojima. Don't strike me with lightning.
I'm
But
going to ban you.
yeah, this is a desperate attempt. Why would he use this tagline? And the funny thing is, it didn't even work out. He's not even getting that much views. One of the biggest games of the year. The last game in the main Metal Gear Solid storyline. And it was shit compared to what he should get.
Oh yeah, you could easily tell he was expecting at least like 10,000, if not more, of views to like on his very first stream. But I mean, when you have a point of Mad Max breaking more views than Metal Gear Solid 5, you know you got a problem.
Well, this is how you don't. This is how you don't take someone else's idea. AJ, brother, I think you have a good case for copyright or DMCA claims.
I think he does, maybe. I mean, like
Maybe.
if you look at Phil's tags, actually the tags themselves have "This is how you don't play" in them, like the search results, like the whole thing. And this, to me, like what you said, he's holding a gun to his head, Fizz, and he's holding up the entire neighborhood too. Remember, he said it could have threatened his neighbors, it could have threatened everyone in that neighborhood. So he's literally holding everyone hostage right now.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, if he's going to use that logic of, if we make it "This is how you don't play," we attempted murder on his own life. I mean, he titled his stream "This is how you don't play," so basically he's trying to commit suicide. Maybe it's career suicide.
Someone
he's
better
trying to-
save Leanna.
And he's trying to commit. If you think about it, he's trying to commit character assassination, or trying to ruin people's reputation because he's claiming that we are sociopaths without any evidence of us acting like a sociopath. But see, the difference between us and Phil is when we call him out, we have proof. We have his own, postings on Twitter. We have his own YouTube videos, his own clips, his own whatever shows. He just calls us sociopaths. I don't know, the armchair psychiatrist. The man that probably watches a couple of infomercials about psychiatry and thinks he's an expert, thinks he's an MD, thinks he is a fucking whatever. So it's just hilarious to me that he's using a "This is how you don't play" tagline. And it didn't get him nowhere because, Phil, it's not a well-edited video. We know what it is.
Keep in mind, this is the same guy who diagnosed his own gout. So, I mean, you obviously can't really expect much from him.
Yeah, you know what? That's hilarious. Just go on WebMD. Out of 20 symptoms, you got 3 of them, and you got something, brother. That's the way it works.
It's usually cancer. So,
The funny thing is that once, for the first time in his entire YouTube career, his videos are properly labeled this time. No clickbaity title or anything. "This is how you don't play Metal Gear Solid 5." It's actually properly labeled or properly titled. That's hilarious to me.
You know what's funny? According to Phil, he has a DS PhD.
Oh,
What?
that's
Corny
clever.
joke. Insert corny joke here.
but
He's
I
got
mean,
a doctorate in being terrible.
Yeah.
Did he get that from a cereal box?
No, Cracker Jack.
I mean,
Cracker
he
Jack
supposedly
bag.
has a business degree. So, I mean,
That is pretty interesting, but fellas, now I know you all saw this. Have you seen the recent feud between Jim Sterling, you might know him, and very own Dark Side Phil? Any of y'all see that?
I didn't see it, that's for sure.
I definitely did see that. Of course.
Why don't you inform us on what happened, Fizz?
So what's going on with that? And I'm going to go ahead and pull up the tweets myself. So basically, you definitely know that if you're popular and if you have a YouTube channel, if you have more views than Darkside Phil, he's going to blast you on his forums, and apparently you won't know about that because no one goes on his forums to begin with. But apparently we like taking evidence to back up all of our claims. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pull up the exact tweet. I think it's provided in the Google Docs. And I'm going to...
Well, we can thank our very own Sons of Kojima member, Dragon Killer, a.k.a. DSP Archives on Twitter, for bringing this to Jim Sterling's attention. So thanks for thanks for the heads up, Dragon Killer.
Oh, definitely.
Yep. Killer, definitely.
Definitely. I'm looking for it because... here it is. Okay, so I'm pulling up the tweet, and I will read verbatim what Phil is talking about.
Let us know what happened.
All right. If you are going to discuss a topic, please actually post up the topic, all caps, instead of a direct link to another YouTuber's video about the subject. If we're on the forums, we want to read the forums, all caps, not watch other YouTubers' videos. In particular, Jim Sterling has personally insulted me in the past when 1, I have no clue who he is, and 2, I have never, in all caps, ever mentioned him in anything I've ever done, so he can go fuck himself. And his videos will not be getting linked on my website. Does anybody care what he has to say? I have no idea, but somehow he's apparently gotten such a huge following that he makes tons of money doing his own thing. He doesn't need more promotion on thekingofhate.com. Now, if you want to discuss the pre-order situation about the upcoming Deus Ex game, please post up the situation in text, all caps. Explain what you find controversial about it, etc. Thanks.
Interesting.
I find it funny that a man that makes so much money from YouTube and stuff, that could clearly afford his own promotion and whatnot, that Phil thinks he's actually going to get any sort of beneficial promotion or attention from the King of Hate forums. Oh yeah, let's not give him any more attention here. It's like he's not going to get any attention here because no one goes to the site.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Jim Sterling gives a fuck about a niche community based around praising Phil, giving him attention. Yeah, I'm sure Jim Sterling's bigger than Phil, and this is what it comes down to. You see, this is what it boils down to. If you're smaller than him, you're a sociopath, you have issues, you're mentally ill. If you're bigger than him, then, oh, woe is me. I do the same thing as him. I do more stuff than him, but he gets more money than me. There's no middle ground with this guy. If you're not as big as him on YouTube, you're a sociopath, you're mentally ill, you're a psychopath, you tried to kill him, blah, 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 blah. If you're bigger than him, then he just does a bunch of emo tweets saying about he should deserve that, and he gets unnecessary flag. This guy, it's easier to read. It's like the writing's on the wall with this feller.
Definitely.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, don't forget that we're all. If you're bigger than him, then you're a sellout. Some people he does call people sellouts occasionally.
So, Fizz, my friend, did Jim Sterling respond to this at all?
Yes, he did. I'm gonna go.
What did he say?
Specific tweet. He responded in lovely, lovely fashion. Let me find. He said, All right, he had 2 tweets, lovely, lovely tweets. He said, quote, I have no idea who he is, says Phil, before providing a pretty in-depth description of me. Got a heart DPS. So apparently he messed up that one too as well. And his next tweet after that was adding on Dark Side Phil's shit list to my resume.
You know what's funny, folks? Not long after that, we had a couple of dun-dun-dun-dun, emote side Phil came out again. You know, probably had a little bit of gin. I don't know what's going on, what he does after closed doors. But let me read a couple of tweets that he said a couple hours ago on Twitter. Quote unquote, Q&A shows, fan interaction, etc. are all high-level perks/goals that people pay thousands of dollars for on Patreon. But I give away that for free. For $10K a month, I'll make a professional website, like the one I paid for out of pocket for 2 years and runs better than most I've seen. I found people raising nearly 10 times what I do a month to do things I've already done for years, forever. People pay out the ass. That was a clear shot at Jim Sterling because Jim Sterling, I believe, makes a little bit over $10K a month on Patreon. Now, I don't know much about Jim Sterling. For what I've seen, he has a better personality, and I bet you he'll make a better website than the King of Hate forums. And I bet you could say at least most of what you want on there, because Jim Sterling seems like a guy that's not afraid to go toe-to-toe with you if you try to criticize him. I don't think he's the type of guy that's going to ban you for even saying DSP is a stupid poopy head, because I did see someone get banned for calling DSP a poopy head back in February. So check this out. This is the final emo tweet that I saw. So I've been doing some research regarding Patreon and come to the conclusion that I receive insanely unfair levels of grief compared to other people. See, this is the thing about Jim Sterling. He makes $10K, and I don't know his content enough, but from what I've heard, he puts out what he says he's going to put out. You didn't, DSB. You said you were going to make Project 7, which is a big goal, which is your highest goal until you took it off. You didn't come out with it. You see, it doesn't matter if you think someone's perks are stupid or their goals are stupid. Only thing that matters is that you put out the content or the product that you said and people paid you for. Jim Sterling does that, Phil doesn't. That's the issue. So this is just ridiculous. The man needs to lay off the gin if he's sipping a little bit of that hard stuff. But what do you guys think of these tweets?
It is
think-
ridiculous. Oh, go ahead, Alice.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to say the only thing I think he's missing is a couple of My Chemical Romance CDs and some clothes from Hot Topic, to be honest. Maybe some eyeliner. That's all.
Man.
Yeah,
You know
some
what?
black fingernail polish. That's all he's missing now.
Oh man, oh my bad. You know, he reminds me of them goth kids with the red little colorings in their hair from South Park.
He is.
Remember that? Remember them guys? Where Stan tried joining them. He reminds me, him, Panda Lee, and some of his other fine folks, friends, whatever, that never stopped defending him. They can all join the little goth group and shit. I wonder who's their Stan.
Someone normal, I guess. I don't know. No, yeah. Yeah, you look at this too, and it's funny is like you mentioned it, what was it, today or yesterday? It comes up and it's the first of the month. I guess those Patreon check rolled in, and then he looked at it and he's like, "Oh, I'm not really getting paid as much. I better whine and complain about my content and how it's so much better than the content that you're probably paying for other than my content."
It's jealousy.
Oh yeah,
And-
and you can see like every single beginning of the month he's like, "Oh, I made 1400. Oh, nope, I made 1300. Oh, why am I not getting paid more, or why is this not going my way?" It's ridiculous.
And I remember he did that to a fellow YouTuber too called Spoony1, who makes I think around 3K on YouTube. He, kind of went after him, kind of took a shot at him out of nowhere, and Spoony actually responded, and he was quick to shut down really quick and say, "Oh, well, no, I've actually been a fan of your work for a while. Disregard that shit that I talked about you for no reason." And I bet you in the back of his mind he thought that was going to get a collaboration, but didn't work out. This is plain jealousy, and people like us get accused of being jealous, but the thing is, I don't want to make money off YouTube. I don't want to make a living off this, and I'm not trying to. A lot of us here, we're gonna do the best I can with college, work, trade school, whatever, and we're gonna try to make our own way. We're not trying to have the job that Phil's have, because me personally, I don't want to play games 8 hours a day, even if I'm getting paid a decent amount to. It's just, I don't see myself being motivated enough to do something like that, because I don't want to take one of my favorite hobbies and I don't want to ruin it,
And this is the same guy who's essentially he's taking his Patreon mini playthroughs because apparently he can't play for a long amount of time or else his hand cramps. And not only is he making you pay $1,000, $1,250 to play these mini marathons, he's now uploading them on YouTube in parts and the live stream as well. So he's essentially triple dipping.
Yeah.
So it's ridiculous.
Not double, but triple dipping. Jesus.
Yeah, triple dipping. So you see him, he's charging you $1,250, $1,000 to actually play the goddamn games. Then he plays it on stream, and then he uploads it in parts. And then he says, "Oh, I also got to upload the stream, or else the views aren't going to count."
Go ahead. Sorry.
He's charging you 3 times to even fucking play the game, which, we remember Crash 2, he didn't fucking finish.
Which is funny to me because he made this big deal when his streaming went down for a week that it was such a dagger in the knife to his YouTube channel. The dagger in the heart, the dagger to the knife. What the hell am I on today? The dagger in his heart to the YouTube channel. You know what I mean? The wooden stake that goes through the vampire or whatever, however you want to say it. But didn't he claim it was all fan service? So if it's fan service, if it's something extra that you're doing out of your own quote unquote love for the viewers, then it shouldn't be a big deal. When it comes to, monetary gains or whatever, when it gets taken away, you should be able to deal with it for a week. But he acted, and some of his fan act like it was the worst thing in the world. Like it took away his ability to upload YouTube videos in general. That's fan
which
service.
it didn't completely do it because, and then okay, that whole like fan service, he constantly, if you think of him and he's like, oh, streaming's a fan service, but oh, do you want to see him record videos offline? No, I have set schedules. I stream. That's my business. It's not a fucking fan service now. It's defined as your business that you constantly call a fan service for the fans.
That is
And
hilarious.
And the whole fact that he requires you to watch the streams and then the videos just to catch up, like 2 hours before he streams, he's like, "Oh, go ahead and catch up on the videos just to catch up where we're at."
It's stupid.
I feel like Phil could have been a great Mad TV skit back in the early 2000s if they had Let's Plays around at the time. I really, the guy who played Steven Seagal in the Mad TV skits, Will Sasso, if anyone knows who that is, I believe he could have been a great DSP. Will Sasso, if you're listening, you may have a new comedy act, because this guy is pure fucking gold, my friend. Just, if you do that, let me get 20% of it, please. No, I'm just saying, brothers. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you offered the suggestion, so you better
that's what
get
I'm saying.
paid.
If I come up with a good idea, man, just I'm not asking for all. So Will Sasso, hit me up. But
20%. That's too much.
That's too much.
That's too much. That's
All right, everybody. Here's another chapter in the saga that I thought was put to rest. The John Rambo, Phil Burnell saga. Now, would you like me to read what Phil commented about John Rambo, I believe yesterday or recently?
Do it.
All right,
Do it.
folks. So a member asked him on the King of Hate forums, when Phil was having problems with his channel a few years ago, he moved Smart Guys to Rambo's channel. As soon as things cleared up, he moved it back to his... This guy didn't finish the sentence. I never understood why, because it's just a small segment in Phil's many channels at a time. So this is how Phil responded. Once everything cleared up, John wanted to move back. We felt the show would/did get more exposure on my channel. And since we were both making money on the series, we obviously wanted it to get as much viewership as possible. I actually didn't care much, but John was the one who brought up moving it back. So we did. That sounds pretty weird, right?
Yeah.
I mean, talk about misinformation. Wow. So what is your...
My God.
So go ahead.
It just seems like he's trying to throw John under the bus for a bad decision.
Yeah, he's trying to make it seem like John was desperate to have Phil back on his channel or to be involved with Phil again. But in my opinion, I believe this whole fallout either started or either, got extended was because Phil, if you remember, and I know a lot of you remember, especially in the chat, that Phil was on Hate Live. Someone asked him about John Rambo. He took out his phone and read personal text messages about about John Rambo's YouTube situation and his financial situation. Personal things that should be between friends.
Yeah.
Now, I don't blame the man if, I'm not saying he did, but if he felt offended by that, if he felt hurt by that, I don't blame the man, because between friends, if a friend comes to me to vent and he tells me about very personal things, I'm not going to go on the Sons of Kojima podcast and be like, hey, well, you guys want to hear about so-and-so? Well, here's this personal message between us. I wouldn't be surprised if the guy tried socking me in the fucking face after I did that. So Phil, he's trying to be a revisionist. He's trying to make it seem like John Rambo was this desperate guy that failed YouTube, that he tried to get on, DSP's good side again. He tried to ask him to do Smart Guys again. He tried to get his help in whatever again. And John Rambo was the one being the dickhead to him. John Rambo was the one that was being the asshole. So he's just trying to be a revisionist because a lot of his fans eat up whatever he says. But let's be honest, Phil, you haven't been the moral one in this whole dispute or whatever you want to call it.
Oh yeah, I mean this is the same guy. This is Phil. He could do no wrong. He could. I mean, anytime Rambo comes up, he's like, well, I've been trying to keep in contact with him, and he's not replying to any of my messages. But he so graciously leaves out the fact that, hey, I've moved across the country, and why can't you do any stuff with me? Oh, I'm sorry, you moved across the country. I can't fucking go over there just for like one episode of Smart Guys.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I feel that, with the Phil and Rambo content, it's homegrown. They were near each other, so they sat down next to each other whenever I saw one video of them trying out the PS4, one of the programs or whatever, and they did Smart Guys, and they were sitting on the couch. There were like two friends on the couch. It wasn't an internet show. It wasn't a show with no faces shown or something like that. You saw them together. You saw them cooperate on these ideas or shows. So I would feel that if they tried to continue Smart Guys over the internet or over Skype or anything like that, it would lose some of its appeal because that's what people were used to. You know what I mean? When you're used to a formula and it works, when you try changing things, it doesn't always work out in the best way. So I felt that, and a lot of friends do that. I've had friends of mine that once, they moved far away or even to another state, we lost contact with each other and we weren't in touch as much. It's normal. It happens. When you're used to having someone right next to you 24/7, not 24/7, but when you're used to having someone right next to you and they could be there a phone call away or anything like that. When you lose that interaction with them, when you lose that contact with them, when you use that luxury with them or whatever, sometimes people get lazy or sometimes people just feel that, we had a good friendship, but things happen. So I just think that's the way what happened with John Rambo.
And man, keep in mind, Phil at no point even like attempted to do the show himself. As soon as Rambo couldn't do it, he just didn't even. I mean, I would understand if he's done this show with Rambo, and okay, Rambo can't even do the show. Okay, well, I'm gonna do it myself, and I'm gonna basically do a Hate Live of wrestling. So I don't even know why he didn't even attempt it, because he's sitting at Hate Live and he's talking to a camera for about 3 fucking hours. So I don't even know why he at least attempted. But the fact that he didn't even attempt to do the show itself, it shows he's got no faith in his own product, and he relied on Rambo to actually do the damn thing.
Gosh.
Which is true. He didn't even try looking for another partner. He just, he was set in stone with his concept, even though that I feel that it loses some of its charm, some of its, shining qualities, because people are used to them too being, the environment, the idea of them sitting on the couch watching wrestling and reacting to it. It loses that appeal when you have to do it over the internet or you have to do it through two people talking through webcams. It's not always like that, but it started off like that, and it was very successful, for their respective channels. So I think it just lost some of its appeal. I'm sorry about that. And, sometimes when you're used to working with a person that can be a phone call away and you lose that sort of contact with them, it's easy to be lazy and forget about them when they're not right in front of you. So I don't think it was anything malicious towards I don't think John Rambo had anything malicious towards John Rambo. I don't think there was any venom or any snarkiness or anything like that towards them. I just think that, as it happens sadly with friends, they go their separate ways, and that's it. And the whole pay me tons thing, it wasn't even a direct shot at Phil. I mean, and I give John Rambo the utmost respect for, he was just making fun of the people who take advantage of Patreon in general. It was just a general stab at Patreon. It wasn't even directed towards Phil. You could say that there were some indirect marks, but there wasn't no direct marks. And I give him the utmost respect for that, because I can admit, folks, I'm something different. If he would have if I was friends with him and he read my personal text, I would have said something back.
I would have kicked his butt, in all honesty, if they read my personal.
Oh, Machine Gun Miles.
Hey, I don't like people getting my personal information.
Whoa.
So
I told you he's like the bouncer of the SoKast. He's yeah.
Well,
He's throwing out all the old people.
Well, I have to say this.
Yeah.
You have to be a tough person to gargle all that fucking milk, because milk personally disgusts me, and I couldn't even imagine drinking a cup of it real fast. So I give you all the props for that. You could probably take a fucking punishment or deal a good sort of punishment on somebody if you drank all that milk. But we at that SoK, we do not condone that. So Miles is just making a joke.
Exactly. Yep, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, Miles is the enforcer of the SoK. And people thought, might be Che or some other people, but no, it's Miles. He's ferocious. You do not want to mess with Miles.
I'm telling you, he's like the Joe Pesci in Goodfellas and
Oh,
Casino.
jeez.
He might not. Yeah, I mean, hey, he might. But the way he comes off as being nice, he may not seem very intimidating, but he'll jump up and hit you on the chin pretty hard.
Yeah,
He's-
and
he's
if you
a-
have a cane, he'll definitely take it from you.
No,
yeah,
guys.
not only because he needs it, but
Guys.
yeah.
What's up?
That's why they call Man says a mouse.
Oh my god!
Oh, that
Bring
is
that up
true.
again.
He's
Miles-
going. He's going after that Haas.
Hey, dude, whatever protects us from getting jumped, brother. Whatever you have to do to keep us safe, we love
Yeah.
you for it, Miles.
And
Miles,
like,
when he's done with you certainly won't be You won't be all smiles. Oh, jeez, that's
Don't
awful.
do this again. Don't ever do that again.
All
But we
right,
love
folks.
the smiles jokes.
I thought this was the Sons of Kojima, not the Sons of Pornhub. So let's
Oh.
move
wait,
on to the next.
Shit, I'm on the wrong podcast. Okay, I'm gonna leave.
You are. That starts at 12 a.m., folks. I'll be
Okay.
there. I'll be your host. I'm very interested in this next topic because this is just something that, came out of nowhere for me. So what is this about Phil kissing Machinima's ass about the 2013 Xbox One scandal? Can anyone inform us on that, please?
Yes, I can. Okay. Machinima supposedly received a sum of money to get their people who are reviewing Xbox Ones upon launch to not say anything bad about them. And it was pretty bad business practice wise. So say you were a partner from Machinima and you just got an Xbox One from Machinima to review. You couldn't pretty much say anything bad about it at all. And Machinima it wasn't legally, Microsoft wasn't found to be liable. They didn't really do anything. It was on Machinima that was pretty much strong-arming their partners kind of to not say anything bad about the Xbox One. It was pretty shitty.
So Phil broke that by shitting on the Xbox One, even though he was under this contract by Machinima.
No, I believe he is kissing Machinima's ass and defending Machinima for these actions. That's what I think is going on.
Oh,
So-
That's what I believe.
I mean,
I'm
you
sorry.
can't piss off Daddy Machinima, so
Mhm.
So basically, this was Machinima trying to tell their partners that if you have something to say about the Xbox One, then it can only be praised because you're going to get in trouble if you try to, whatever, make the product
No.
look bad.
No,
Mhm.
it was basically if you talk good about the Xbox One, they will pay you X amount of money.
Really?
You'll get an extra X amount of money.
You
I
see,
thought there
think.
was. Sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I
You
just-
see, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to add. I heard there was actually a punishment for talking bad
Yes.
about it.
Oh,
So
really?
they were pretty much
I'm-
strong arming you.
Not sure about that.
I think there was.
Well, I
Maybe
think
there
I
was.
think I think practices like that. I think practices like that ruin you in the long run because this is the internet. This is not the '90s. This is not the '80s. Even a little kid can get their information on the internet. So when you try to, restrict people from criticizing a product, people are going to catch on. And I think in the long run, no matter how big the YouTuber is or X amount of money he gets to praise a product and not say anything bad about it, that's good for the YouTuber because obviously he's willing to do this and he's getting paid a pretty nice amount. I would think, but it hurts the product in the long run. Because we all saw what happened with, I believe, the guy from GameStop with Kane Lynch. I believe it was the first one or second one. He gave it a bad review, and GameStop fired him. And there was suggestions that it was because, before the game came out, they were promoting their game on their website. They were on banners, and I went on the website. There was Kane and Lynch banners and everything like that. So people, I don't know if it was confirmed true or not. So if anyone can correct me, please correct me. That they fired the guy. I think his name was Jeff Gertzman or something like that. He's a part of Giant Bomb now. They fired him because he gave this game a bad score that he was supposed to give a good score because I believe they were giving money to GameStop. And you saw how bad that hurt the fucking reputation of the game. You know, when you try to suppress people from giving their full feelings, I've often say, and from what I've seen with local businesses or local products, that if you give people zero restrictions on what they can say about your product, that you let the product stand for itself, it helps you in the long run because if you create a decent or a great product, then people rely on you. And you got to remember, the customer is always right. And if they feel that you're trying to fuck them, best believe they'll leave. And I worked at Walmart for 3 years, and I've seen people walk out that fucking store for the dumbest reasons. So please believe me when I say that. A customer, most times, is always right.
Oh. Yeah, and you'll see, I mean, even if you have to go ahead and you've got to say, okay, if you talk good, I'm going to give you X amount of money, it shows you've got no faith in your product to begin with. I mean, if you go to GameStop, it's like, okay, advertise this, and then someone whose job it is to objectively look at your game thinks, oh, this game, which has been on banners and pop-up ads and videos have popped up interrupting your content about this game's not very good. I mean, would you rather him say, oh, this game's amazing and accept a check, or be like, hey, this game's not really that good, and then he gets fired over it?
Yeah, there's obviously a red flag when something happens like that, and it's just going to hurt your game in the long run, I believe, and it's just going to leave an everlasting stain on the company and the game itself. So it could hurt sales in the wrong one. It could hurt that product in the long run when you try doing that. Or if it doesn't hurt it in the long run, the company has to do a lot of stuff and pay out the ass or do a lot of damage control, a lot of stress, a lot of mundane tasks, if you say, I believe that's the right word, where you have to make the product look better than the stain on it. So... But yeah, I believe Phil would kiss Machinima's ass over everything because you got to remember he was supposed to be not streaming for 10 to 14 business days, and that actually kept him out of streaming for I believe a couple of days after Metal Gear 5 came out. I told you I got it right. It wasn't 4. Ha ha.
Solid this
Take
time.
that, Metal Gear
forgot
solid
solid.
5. There you go.
So you're like mistake number 3. So I'm keeping track.
Yeah.
Well, at least he didn't say Metal Gear Liquid.
On the
Metal Gear Solid is
You know what? I'm going to call it Metal Gear Psycho Mantis 4011, okay? I'm going to call it what I want. Okay, so Metal Gear Solid
7.
So Metal Gear, so like I said, he was supposed to be out of streaming for 10 to 14 business days. That doesn't count weekends. I believe he would have just got it back right now or yesterday. Machinima got him off the hook very early, and that's a privilege that most YouTubers don't even have, even YouTubers that are the same size as Phil. So he got off very lucky. So I just believe that this is kissing up to the person that saved your ass. That's all it is. It's kissing up to the company that saved your ass. And it's a funny thing, too, because he still continues to shit on YouTube like no tomorrow. Like, I understand the DMCA or whatever, even, all that stuff. I can understand where someone coming from with that. But he just has, like, if you were to listen to him and you didn't know about YouTube, you would think it was the worst streaming service in the world. But Phil, you can always go back to Twitch if you don't like YouTube so much.
No, you can't.
Well, back to the Machinima thing with the Xbox One. Machinima was hired by a marketing agency that was actually hired by Microsoft, and the marketing agency was apparently the one that's legally liable for that, and that pushed Machinima to influence their people like that. So yeah, I guess it could still reflect badly on Microsoft on it, but I gotta say that's really fucked up on Machinima's part for that,
Yeah, it is.
And it's really fucked up that that Phil is defending Machinima for this. I mean, I know that's who puts the food on the table and stuff, but come on, I mean, he should not really comment about that, let alone defend them. I mean, you don't have to say anything bad about your employers, but you don't have to go out of your way to defend them for something like that. That's really shitty.
This is a man that is on his last string or his last couple of strings when it comes to this, living off of YouTube, in my opinion. So as you see with the "This is how you don't play" tagline, something that he would have never done before because he is a prideful man, and he is someone that will take pride over the smart decision any day of the week. And you know, I'm not gonna act like I've never been in that position before, but at least I can admit it. He won't admit it. To him, everyone else is a narcissist and a sociopath, and he's just this innocent victim. But as you see with moves like this, he's just trying to save his own ass. He has this mentality that if you kiss up to this company, you kiss up to this people long enough that they'll remember that. And in the future, they'll possibly do him another favor like they did with this, getting him off getting his streaming back pretty quick, I believe. And people are lucky because people get their channels taken down for that. People get, can't, some of our people's channels, Nomads, Lester's, Jabman's, people got copyright strikes that they still can't till get to this day. The Master got his channel shut down, and I just find it funny throughout the whole fiasco with the copyright strike. I just want to say this really quick, that he claimed the moral standpoint, and some of his fans claimed the moral standpoint. But when it was happening to us, these DMCAs from Pandaloo, Machinima, Phil, or whatever happened, they were as quiet as a cricket. And I know no one else in the Sons of Kojima ever condoned other people getting their channels shut down just because they're doing pro-Phil content or they do fan montages or something like that. I've never condoned that, and I don't want that to happen to anyone. But you'll never hear that from his fans. So this is just all an attempt to kiss ass. This is just something, to kiss up to Big Brother, Little brother gets messed with, Big Brother comes and saves your ass. So, you got to pucker up.
Oh, exactly. I mean, if you want to know how Phil is feeling, you need to look at his views. I mean, how many times in the past 4 hours has he bitched about, oh, Metal Gear Solid 5 is boring, and I don't know why everybody's praising it? Well, because you're not getting the views you expected, so suddenly now it's a shit game. I mean, during this whole streaming, I mean, how many times did he whine and bitch about YouTube, about, oh, YouTube doesn't know how to run a business, but now he can stream on YouTube, and he's like, I love YouTube now.
He'll be back to talking shit about him in like a week.
He's already talking shit about them right now.
Yeah,
Talk about that YouTube gaming app.
Yeah, speaking of that, he was like, this is a quote from Phil. He said this not too long ago, and Google Old Order capped this, and so I'd like to give credit to him for that. But he's like, I hate to say it, but I don't really think anyone gives a damn about me playing Metal Gear Solid 5. Probably because it seems to be a game designed purely for fanboys, and I'm not one. So, yeah, he's
I did see that screen cap. It was actually funny because he's done this before. He didn't have no mods in the chat. There wasn't much participation in his IRC. And I have a theory about why that's happening. But so it's the game's fault. It's not the fact that people might find your gameplay repetitive and boring. It's the game's fault. It's not the fact that you have a 30-year-old program that have your chat. The program that literally looks like it was made from like a computer in 1989. It looks like it was the first thing that you could connect to when Windows 95 came out. It hurts my eyes looking at that chat.
This is just him continuing that behavior of him blaming everything and everyone else but himself for the fall and the decline in his viewers and in his income. And this time he's blaming the game for it. So instead of blaming the community or say the people in his chat that treat people like crap, he's gonna blame the mods not being there for no one wanting to show up. But like you said, look at the chat. It's from a really old program that not too long ago that people could see your IP there until he finally found someone to fix that or tell him how to fix that. But yeah, that's why people aren't going there. It's because there's no mods, apparently.
I mean, what about the whole MGS thing? What else does he have to blame? It's one of the biggest games of the year. It's a finale of a trilogy that's been beloved by gamers for almost 20 years. And it's probably, if not the biggest game of the year. And he uses "This is how you don't play" tagline to try to draw. That was a desperate attempt to draw people in. But of course, it's the game's fault.
Oh yeah, he was milking that "this is how you don't play" line.
Oh, he was.
Come on, this is what people want to see, okay? A few streams later.
I guess.
Nobody wants to see this. It's a niche game.
Oh, I would love to hear him use that niche game excuse for Metal Gear Solid 5. I'm just waiting for him to say, "Well, this game is a niche game. It's not good for the mainstream audience. The mainstream audience isn't going to watch me play the game, so it's niche. That's okay, guys."
Someone said in the chat that Twitch runs on IRC, and if that's true, it does look a hell of a lot better than Phil's IRC.
It does one on RC.
I mean, we have to admit, appearances do come first in a lot of things. If I look at a website or a chat and it looks like it was made back in the Stone Ages, then it's definitely going to hurt my chances on staying on that chat. And you have to admit, Twitch's chat looks a lot better and it functions a lot better than Phil's IRC. But like I said,
speaking of which, and I'm gonna go on that same topic. Have you guys noticed that now he's keeping up his YouTube chat open?
Oh yes.
I did not know that. When did this happen?
It happened with the start of Metal Gear Solid 5, and he's actually putting in the description of his streams, like, the YouTube chat is open for trolls, and if you don't want to get trolled, go into my IRC chat.
It's a desperate attempt to get the trolls to go over there to give them views.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Not only that, but I think, do comments also add to your videos being near the top of the list, or is that just likes?
I think it's just likes.
Likes, dislikes.
As I think he did that. I think that he did that with the start of YouTube gaming, because when people come and check it out the first couple of weeks and they're like, "Oh, look at all these streams that are top 5," they're gonna go to Phil's stream and it's like, "Oh, he doesn't have a chat open. I don't want to watch his stuff."
I mean, this is just what it all boils down to. All of this, the "this is how you don't play" tagline, him trying to, if you use wrestling terms, get heel heat for shitting on Metal Gear Solid 5. Even though I think he legitimately doesn't like the game or like the game at certain parts, but he always tries to hype things up. He's a very, waving his arms around. He's a very over dramatic guy when it comes to liking or disliking something. But leaving the chat open, this is all a desperate attempt to get people to come over to his stream, because he knows that this is one of the biggest games of the year, if not the biggest. I know it's going to contend with Fallout 4 and maybe another title, maybe Black Ops, but this is definitely top 3 in the biggest game of the year. This is the finale of a beloved series, and it's not doing so well. So what's that going to say about the other games? The thing is, and I said this on Twitter, it is a gamble with the most popular games that come out this year. If you're definitely making a living on it, it's a hell of a gamble, because you have to think about it. Most of your subscriber base, most people that would watch your videos, I guarantee you a good amount, or most of these people, want to play the game. They don't want to watch you play the game. They might want to watch you after they're done beating it, but they don't want to get spoilers, especially if it's the finale. You know what I mean? That always accounts for something more than it being the second or the third game down the line. This is the finale. This is Metal Gear Solid 5. This is, Hideo Kojima's, what's that? Is that noise in the background?
Hmm?
Oh,
My bad, I thought I heard something. This is Hideo Kojima's swan song, and it's not doing so well for Phil. So what's that going to say about the rest of the hardcore gaming season? I mean, for fuck's sakes, Until Dawn got more views from what I see in a couple of videos than Metal Gear Solid 5. What are you going to do when Black Ops? What are you going to do when Fallout 4 comes out?
You got to think,
I hear
like,
background noise.
Oh, but you got to think too. You got to think. Okay, is that me?
Who's playing the video?
yeah, I hear something.
I hear something. Can you please mute that? Anyways,
as I was saying, like as you were saying, Che, I mean, it's shown he can't get views for Metal Gear Solid 5. And I think he's starting to realize that, okay, if I can't get views for Metal Gear Solid 5, realistically, how much longer do I have of my chat? I mean, and it's. I
Yes,
don't know.
we get it. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to see. So.
Well, I mean, you got to think about it. Metal Gear Solid 5 is the beginning of quote unquote his hardcore gaming season. This is what's going to show if people are going to stay inclined to watch him this fall. And this is not a good attempt, in my opinion. Now, I can't predict what's going to happen in the future, but I feel that it's going to be somewhat or exactly or even worse. It has that chance of being one of those three options for Fallout 4 because you got to think about it. People have been waiting for Fallout 4 a long time. Fallout 3 came out in 2008, and it's a beloved series because the series is 20 years old. So I believe that he needs some first day views because that is the most attention that he probably is going to get. He's trying to attract people that even if they just come out of nowhere and watches his videos for that one day or the 1 week or whatever, it still helps him out a lot. He just wants to get the potential to grab the new viewers. A lot of them don't stay because look at his subscriber count, look at his overall views. They stay same, they stay stagnant. So he's desperate. This is his bread and butter. This is what's probably going to support him until the next hardcore gaming season. We know how he does in January to August. So
I mean, if he can't, honestly, and we're going to see this, if he can't perform during this season where you have Metal Gear Solid 5, you got Fallout 4, and any other big games, you're going to get to like a period where not that many games come out in 6 months, and he's like, no one watches my content. Why am I still doing it?
I tell you what, it probably got a decent amount of views. A Project 7 teaser, our first episode.
Oh.
Yeah. And, you got to think about it through Phil's eyes. That would have gave him a reason, even if it was a lazy reason, if he came out with a teaser. It would still gave him somewhat of a legitimate reason to keep that, Patreon open for the 4K camera or keep the tier for Project 7 going. All he had to do was, and this goes back to the Project 7, all he had to do was a teaser. He didn't have to do a first episode. I guarantee you that would have got a decent amount of views because a lot of people like Project 7. They like that somewhat of an effort, at least a damn effort was put into it, and people appreciate when you try to put effort into something, whether it comes out really good or really cheesy, really bad. If people know you're putting an effort into something, they're willing to give you a chance. That's what I've seen with most people that I interact with on YouTube. So he really screwed himself over. All you needed was a teaser, Philly boy, and I guarantee that would have got you somewhat views, but who knows?
But
you might try it. What's up?
The planets aligned and told him not to do Project 7.
The planets aligned. I just believe it was. Oh yes, he raised his hand. He looked like he was praising to Allah. The planets. I swear. Look, it's not about anyone. He looked like he was praising to Allah. He looked like he was praying because the planets came down. The essence came down and told him not to do Project 7. Someone said it in the chat. Handful Jerky or whatever your name is. I'm sorry if I got it wrong. I'm pretty sure it was all Rambo's efforts too, because as you can see in a couple of videos on YouTube, he was snapping at people for liking John Rambo over Phil, and he claimed that he did most of the work. Well, even if he did most of the writing, that's only 50% of the effort because you have to act it out. You have to be funny. You have to be charismatic. You have to have that natural sense to entertain people. And a lot of people thought that John Rambo had that over Phil. So, Phil got a little bit salty. Might have drank a little bit of the gin. Might have ate a little bit of the Whopper, and he decided to rant. Phil, come on, brother. What are you doing?
You got
Project 7?
How many bottles does he go through? He sees something negative online. He's like, okay, I got to reach for the alcohol to do this.
This is my strategy.
I had to get some more gin.
And I walked to the store.
Look, this is what I'm saying. This is my strategy if I was Phil. I would have cut down. Excuse me, sorry about that. I would have worked on Project 7. I would have at least worked on getting a teaser trailer out and episode 1 out. By the time Metal Gear Solid came out, or maybe after I was done playing, by the end of September, because it just had a lot of potential to get views, and it gave people the incentive to keep donating to your Patreon. But no, you decided to cancel it. You were gambling on Metal Gear Solid, and it didn't work out for you so far. It's not doing what you expected it. That's the gamble with these bigger games. People do not want to watch them. They want to play them first and foremost, especially if it's the last game in a fucking series. You think if I'm a dedicated fan of Metal Gear, you think if I'm interested in the series and I'm subscribed to your channel that I'm going to want to watch you beat the game that I've been waiting for? You think I'm going to watch you spoil the fucking game for me? No, I'm not going to watch your damn channel. I'm not going to watch your damn videos until there's something else other than Metal Gear Solid content.
He didn't even have to film anything. At least if you showed your fans you were at least writing the script. He didn't even fucking write the script. But the countless times he was up till like 2 a.m. watching fucking 4 movies back to back, he couldn't have his laptop open while he was watching the movies and say, oh, okay, I'm going to borrow this from this movie. I'm going to borrow this from this movie. You gonna tell me in the 8 fucking months he didn't have anything?
Guys, you had to donate another 1,000 for him to write the script too.
Let's not even talk about him with computers, because this guy bought a $3,000 computer and he claimed that he couldn't stream and record Fallout New. I can stream Fallout. I can't stream and record Fallout New Vegas, but I can stream New Vegas probably in the worst fucking quality ever, but I can still do it. Your PC costs $3,000, but it has to be freaking 1080, 60 FPS, and that's the mentality that got you kicked off of Twitch, and that's the mentality that you lost all them $5 a month subscriptions. That's the mentality that you lost that decent sized fan base that you had, that you would have definitely had more users than YouTube streaming.
Oh, he would have.
That point.
Even for Metal Gear Solid 5, he would have had like over 1,000, if not 15,000, if he was still on. No, not 15,000, 1,500.
1,500?
Well, no, okay.
I believe we're at 900 at least, because I saw some of his Twitch. He did have a decent following. I will not knock. It was definitely bigger than his YouTube following, and it were $5 subscriptions. So not only are they watching the stream, $5 a month. You got to think about it. Even if only 100 people donate to that, out of the hundreds of people that are coming by, you're still making a decent chunk of change. So in his position, the higher profit or revenue was definitely on Twitch than YouTube gaming. And that's why people say pride comes before the fall. That's why people say that you always have to think before you act. Because if you want to think on your own merit, if you want to use pride, if you want to pump your chest out, walk around like you're some big badass, I guarantee you're going to run into someone that's going to knock you down. And in this case, it was a Twitch admin.
Phil's worst enemy, Twitch admins.
Oh my god. And it's just like, he was, I don't know, just the way he handled it. Like, they just asked you to lower your bit rate. You could have still gotten 1080, 60 frames per second at like maybe half of what you were fucking, no, but I've got to keep the 9,000 bit rate going.
What really surprised me is that he could have gotten more viewers if he, I think he was trying to add the title, This Is How You Don't Play, because he's so well known for the This Is How You Don't Play Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2, specifically the Metal Gear Solid series, because it was so bad, and that the This Is How You Don't Plays of it did so well. So I think that's one of the reasons why he added the This Is How You Don't Play title to Metal Gear Solid 5, is he wasn't just trying to capitalize on the success of This Is How You Don't Plays in general, but specifically the Metal Gear Solid series of This Is How You Don't Plays. That's why I think he was doing that.
Well, you want to talk about being over dramatic? I just wanted to bring this real quick before we move on. I have a couple of quotes from the Metal Gear stream. Fuck this. This is terrible. Just fucking kill me. Thanks for people in the stream chat telling me how to jump, because the game never fucking tells you. And from what I've seen recently, he had 485 people watching on Metal Gear Solid 5. For a man with 160,000 subscribers, for a man that's banking on this hardcore gaming season to be profitable and to hold him until next fall. Ooh, not doing so well, fellas. I think I saw Crash get more than that at one point.
Yeah, definitely.
Crash definitely had more than that.
Well, I guess that's what you get for not delivering on Project 7.
Oh, definitely.
Or should I say Project 2007?
Project never.
Project never gonna happen.
So, I'm sorry, Miles.
What?
I said I'm sorry, Miles. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, it's fine.
I'm just confused. How the fuck do you not know how to jump in the game? Even if they don't tell you, you messing around with the buttons, and trial and error should tell you which button to fucking jump. Do I press X? Do I press circle? Do I press triangle? Or just fucking look it up real quick. How did bullshit? I haven't played Metal Gear Solid, but I'm pretty sure the game told you how to fucking jump. And even so, just press the fucking button until the guy jumps. It's not lock picking. It's not fucking brain fucking neurosurgeon or whatever. It's not cutting somebody open and doing open heart surgery on them. What the hell are you talking about?
Oh god.
Oh my god. Games like Mario tell you how to fucking jump. You can't tell me that Metal Gear Solid didn't tell you how to jump. I just don't think he was paying attention. I just think he was waving your fucking arms around and shit like a lunatic, and you missed the goddamn screen when it told you to jump.
He probably even fucks up the jumping on Mario too. So I mean, you can't give him too much credit.
I mean, just imagine this. This guy's in a fucking restaurant, and he gets mad about something. People are trying to enjoy their dinner, and the waitress sees him 5 feet away waving his arms around like he's on a fucking roller coaster at Six Flags and shit. I'm going to think the man's insane. I think someone's liable to call the cops on him if he's doing that shit. If he acted the same way he does in his hate live videos, he does in public, then people are going to think that he is mentally ill.
It's just awful. And it's like, what can you do? I mean, you can tell him, you can sit there and you tell him, oh, you're doing it wrong, but he got you blocked, so he's gonna block you.
Yep. Well, speaking of moving on, I believe it's time to move on to the next topic. And this is a topic that I hope some of you guys are informed on, because I completely missed out on this event, even though I thought I was gonna watch it. Has any of you fellas and ma'am, excuse me, let me tip my hat to you. Trying to be polite here. Sorry. Have any of you fellas been to PAX or seen PAX? Any of you know what PAX 2015 is all about? What happened? Please tell me, because I'm not informed about this, so I'm going to let y'all take the stand.
Oh gosh. I saw a little bit of PAX online. Let me pull up some of the stuff I saw, because I looked up a few things. They announced a few games, like talked about Final Fantasy actually getting a release date, like at least a release year. No real date yet.
Wasn't Final Fantasy 15 actually getting a release date for the release date?
Yeah, that's true. They said it's 2016 for sure.
They were going to announce early 2016 the date they're going to release the game. So they're getting a release date for a release date.
Yeah. It was March. They're releasing it March. At least information on it, March 2016.
I have a question. I have a question for y'all. What the hell? Because I've heard some uproar about this. What the hell's going on with this Deus Ex HM pre-order package? I believe Mechaboo brung it up in the chat. What the hell's going on with that? That's all I got thumbed down to oblivion. What the hell's up with the pre-order package?
I think
it was. Fizz can probably explain it better.
Go ahead, brother. What's up?
All right. So what they're doing with this, and it's completely fucking awful, is they're doing like a tiered reward system. Like if so many people pre-order this game, then you'll get like one item from this. So like if so many people pre-order the game, you'll get one item out of 3, and you get to pick the one item out of 3. If so many people, so not only do they offer like multiple options of like, oh, we're gonna offer this item and this item and this item, and then they say at the end of the video, it's like, oh, if we meet our global demand for pre-orders, we're gonna release the game 4 days early.
What?
I hate pre-order. The reason why I hate fucking this generation of game, and this is why I like playing games from 10, 15 years ago from the most part, because I don't like pre-orders. I don't like, on this content that's locked. I don't like the thought of people have to buy this amount for these tiers to happen. This isn't fucking Kickstarter. You funded the game and you're going to come out with it. Just give us the damn game. Give us a full game for $60, because I guarantee you $60 is a decent amount of fucking change for a video game. And one thing, I like expansion packs. I do not like DLC, because when you get expansion packs, you get sometimes half of a game, or sometimes in another case, a whole game for the price of the expansion pack. With these DLCs, they offering you like 6 outfits. Oh, you get to see Chun-Li with a dress that's 1 inch shorter than it was before, but you got to give us $3. You're not even paying $1 an inch. You're paying $3 an inch. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. For all you women out there, you get to see Ken with a gi that you might see half of his nipples sometimes instead of just his pecs. But wait a minute, that costs $5. Like, what the hell is it with this shit? And
Or
I don't believe. What's up?
Or you can get Ryu with a beard. That's the big thing too.
Oh, Ryu with the beard. You're right, brother. Him refusing to shave, that cost me $5 or $10 of my hard-earned money. But I think one of the worst DLC options out there was for a game called Oblivion. I was really excited for this game. I'm a big fan of. I used to be a fan of Bethesda, and I'm a big fan of the Elder Scrolls series. But I remember I went on Xbox Live Marketplace, and I thought I was high. I thought someone put something in my food. I saw horse armor, I believe, for $5. That's right. Even though the horse ride in Oblivion's clunky as fuck, and your horse is probably gonna die, because I guarantee you that shit gets stabbed once and it's falling down. It falls down like it got shot in the fucking head. $5 for horse armor.
But with horse armor, you can get shot twice and still.
I guarantee you, if I'm paying $5, you better make me God mode.
Fucking horse armor.
My gosh.
Speaking of packs, Miles might be happy about this one. Nintendo has sold a license for the first third-party amiibo, and they unveiled this at PAX, and it's for a Shovel Knight amiibo.
That's right, Shovel Knight amiibo. I remember them talking about that. I'm not really as enthusiastic about it since it's Shovel Knight. I never played it, so I have no idea about that game, but I'm enthusiastic it's another amiibo.
Well, it's a third party. That's the first third party. So isn't that a big deal that they're starting to lease out these licenses for other companies to make amiibos?
Yeah, you make a valid point there. It's exciting. That means we might get other amiibos for other games in general, I guess.
An Isaac amiibo.
Yes, that's what Faz wants. He wants his Isaac amiibo to happen.
How about this, Nintendo? Please, for the love of God, I know that your games are selling, all right, and I know, but I'm a 3DS and Vita collector. Can you please lower the price of your fucking 3DS games? I know they're selling like hotcakes, and I know that the 3DS is doing better than Wii U, but $40, $50 for a fucking game. I go on the Vita, and I love the Vita, because if you're a fan of JRPGs, if you're a fan of obscure games, and the Vita is a place to go, but the games are so fucking cheap. But I have to pray to the Lord himself that I can get one day of a goddamn Nintendo sale, because the games are still $40 2 years later. I understand from Nintendo's point, they're selling it, so why lower the prices if it's still selling like hotcakes? But please, brother, as a collector, I don't got a lot of money to spend. I just want Monster Hunter 4 and Pokemon Omega Ruby, and I don't want to pay $80 for both of them. I'd like to pay $40 for both of them. Hook me up. Somebody hook me up, please.
I can hook you up one.
Just because you said that, they're going to raise the price of their games, so that's what you get.
I'll hook you up with one, Jay.
All right.
What's actually okay, and this is a side note, and I can't really at the top of the head. They announced the names of their new Pokemon games. Does anybody know what that was? I think it was something stupid like fucking.
Wait, what? There's another Pokemon game?
Oh, of course. There's always going to be Pokemon games. I just can't recall the next name. I heard it was something fucking stupid.
There's another Pokemon Shuffle coming out for the Android.
Let's
I've never heard about this.
I have.
Oh, here's something really weird. Hold
Okay.
on. So I just looked this up, and I'm pulling it up. It says Pokemon sues fans to block Pokemon Party on eve of PAX Game Convention in Seattle.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing something about that.
So what was that?
The PCI Pokemon International, the company, sued two Seattle people on Wednesday, claiming they broke copyright laws when they organized a theme party to mark the kickoff of PAX Prime.
Oh fuck! So they're actually going after like actual parties?
Yep.
Was this something that was like just a group of people and saying, "Oh, we're gonna throw a party," or is this something you can like buy admission to?
I believe you had to buy admission to it.
$2 tickets.
Okay. Well, it still sucks, but then I could kind of see it. It'd kind of be uncalled for if it was something of like some like 10 people like threw together this party and it was like, oh, this awesome Pokemon, and then it's like, no, you can't have parties, you can't have fun without our games. But I mean, if it's something like, I mean, if they're trying to make money off the name, then I mean, it's still kind of one of those things where I mean, it sucks regardless because, I mean, it's just fans of Pokemon getting together. But at the same time, you have to figure out, okay, where I'm going to draw the line. I'm making money off of this, but at the same time, it's like it's got to balance out.
Yeah.
That was also the 5th annual one. So where exactly they were the past 4 years, I don't know.
I'm wondering, where were they? Oh, guys, I just realized something I'd heard about on the radio today. This is not gaming related, but it's weird. Did you guys know that Target is now going to sell alcohol while you're shopping in their stores?
Oh, so while you're shopping?
Yeah,
that's
while
right,
you're
brother.
Shopping. This is the key word, while you're shopping.
Oh, jeez.
Wait. They're selling it? So Target's selling alcohol.
Well, no, not just that. Actually, I think they're giving it to you while you
To
shop.
shoppers.
Bullshit. So
They're serving it.
I can get a pair of sweatpants. I can get a fruit snack. I can get a slice of ham. And I can get a pint of vodka on the way out. I love you, Target. That's the way of the future, brother. Target 2016.
That's really irresponsible. People like drive there to pick up stuff and to drive home. It's like, here, we're going to serve you alcohol so you and your family can drive home safely.
It's like saying your Target experience might be shit, but it won't be shit with a brand new can of alcohol.
I mean, Jesus Christ, that is so stupid.
Well, I mean, if they're allowing you to like drink alcohol, then obviously they're going to get liquor license. So obviously they're going to actually sell alcohol, which, I'm surprised they don't. All the other names sell alcohol within their stores. But at the same time, it's like, that's weird. Like, you'll go shopping and you'd be like, oh, I'm so bored of shopping. I'm just going to have a pint while I'm walking around looking at expensive engine oil for my car that I can't fix.
This is what I think they'll do. See, my Target sells alcohol. Like, they sell weird local craft beers and whatnot. You know how a lot of Targets and large retail stores like Walmart have, say, like a Burger King or a Starbucks inside of it? I think some locations are probably going to open up some sort of hole-in-the-wall little pub inside of it. And they're going to give it a little name, like as if it was a Starbucks or a little fast food place. Because you notice how some Targets have that little food stand where they sell popcorn and other, food there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to do that, like open up a small little pub type thing right next to the food thing. I don't think they're going to be serving it to like shoppers or anything. I think they're going to have like a small hole in the wall, little bar. That's what I think they're going to do. Because, they have coffee, food, I guess the next step is alcohol.
Yeah, I believe that.
That's that's not too big of a leap, I think.
Well, when I was working at Walmart, I believe it's somewhat on the East Coast. I don't think it's global or nationwide. We had a chain near us called ShopRite. And I remember our managers and some people from corporate came down. I think it was the second year I was working there back in 2000-something. What happened was ShopRite got their liquor license, so they were down the street from us and they could sell liquor, and people were so stressed out about it. I get it. I believe it is a smart business move. It may be irresponsible, but once again, it's up to the consumer. I don't think that, people should be getting outraged because it's just like going to a liquor store. I mean, people don't go to the liquor store and drink in a liquor store and go driving, so they shouldn't be a dumbass and drink in the parking lot at a ShopRite. And if you do that shit, I hope you get caught because that's fucked up. But, yeah, it's just people trying to make money nowadays, and best of luck, Target.
Oh, and what I'm looking at the article. I've been kind of just glancing at it, and kind of what they're going for is they're looking, mean, you can go into like upscale grocers like Whole Foods and they sell alcohol. But when you go to Target, I mean, if you're going to like a store to buy alcohol, you don't think like, oh, I'm gonna go to Target, then I'm going to a liquor store. So why not? So I mean, they're starting it in Chicago.
Yeah.
So that's their first go around of what they're looking at. But I mean, it's kind of one of those things like we're gonna test it here, we're gonna see how it goes, and if it's successful, we might just expand it to where you can walk into a Target and buy some beer.
It's crazy.
I mean,
Well, I actually buy my Mike's Hard Lemonade, the black cherry kind. It's a seasonal item, and I believe I buy that at my Target, and I have been for when I pick up a case every few months.
What do you buy at Target?
Mike's Hard Lemonade, the black cherry kind, I believe.
Oh.
I believe.
I'm sorry.
Every few months.
I'm sorry. I thought you bought, your clown nose and the makeup and a little, wig and shit. My bad. I mean, well, Mike's Hard Lemonade, you might as well buy clown too on the way out.
Hey, I mean, I have Mike's it's all right. It's fruity, it's good, but I also like a nice Guinness Black as well. Is that manly enough for you?
My nigga.
Yeah.
Give me a high five.
You go from one extreme to the other. You're like, ooh, fruity. Oh, okay. Yeah, this ain't fruity.
Yeah,
this ain't fruity.
We drink some fruity lemonade alcohol and then have a really thick stout.
Oh yeah. Well, I just go straight for the whiskey, the Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
Just go for that and go crazy.
Yeah. But this is a family-friendly podcast, so we can't turn it into the bartender's hour here.
Family friendly.
We're gonna fuck.
Oh. Yeah, I don't care. Give me some Grey Goose and Cardi Gold, and I'm good.
Yep.
Fizz knows about this. He just came from Vegas.
Oh, that's just you don't.
Is that where he saw your one-woman clown show in Vegas?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I actually saw. And I could tell you a story there too. So I'm there for like 2 weeks, and it's like during the weekend you don't have anything else to do but like go to the strip and drink and walk around and everything like that. So I'm sitting on one of those outside restaurants and everything like that, and I'm looking around. And, the big thing in Vegas now is costumes, and those are the type of costumes that should be like, oh, we're gonna take your picture and we're gonna get like $5 for the picture. We're not gonna tell you it's $5 until we actually take the picture, and then we'll steal your phone until you pay us the $5. But I'm sitting here and I see a guy in a Minion costume. I'm like, okay. But then I hear a commotion, and over there I see the Minion costume on the ground and the guy in a fist fight with another guy. So I missed that fight, but I saw the end of that. So something serious to like shed costume and just start whooping on another guy. Only in Vegas.
I actually feel the same thing about those Minions. I want to beat their asses too. So that's all good. See them fucking everywhere.
What,
Definitely
Minions?
I want to beat down a Minion.
Alice, the Minions are going to tool you up. They're going to tee off on you. They're going to destroy you. Do you see how big their head looks like a giant Twinkie made of hard rock? They'd be able to headbutt you.
It looks like a fucking, looks like corn. I'm sorry.
Let me tell you something. If that thing runs away from me, if I don't have a gun, I'm running because it looks creepy and it looks like a gigantic Twinkie. And I've never been a fan of Twinkies, and it looks like a gigantic monster radiated fucking Twinkie with Homer Simpson hair, and I don't like that shit.
Hey, don't you be talking bad about Homer Simpson. We won't have any of that slander in here.
It just looks like someone took a bit of Homer Simpson's fat and molded it into like a 2-foot being.
We ain't talking any slander of the Homer Simpson, so that's not happening.
All right, I think this is enough talk about Homer Simpson and all that crap. I think.
What do you want to talk about?
I think someone in the chat in our little group here wanted to mention something about Afterbirth.
Go ahead, brother. What's up? Fazzy?
Oh yeah. So at PAX, and going back to what Che was saying about expansion packs, the Binding of Isaac Rebirth, the expansion pack for that Afterbirth, was actually shown at PAX, and holy shit, does it look amazing! They showed off the daily seeded run. They showed off a couple of new items, which some of them are pure shit. Well, on purpose, of course, but other than that. Then they also showed off the new mode, which is basically like a zombies type thing. Like it's an endless, round based thing. It just looks amazing, and I'm really hyped for it. And I just wish that Edmund McMillan would fucking give the release date, because he's been teasing it for weeks now.
It looks really good. It definitely does. The greed mode is not. I don't think it was from PAX, but that looked really cool. I haven't played the game myself, but the all these new things coming out for it is really making it fresh. You know.
Definitely, and yeah, I'm very excited about it. Sure to be great fun. Just when McMillan gives us a release date.
Definitely.
Now, are they going to stick to the same style of game for the sequel, or is they're going to change that up?
It's an expansion pack, and it's it's the same style and all that stuff. So it's just adding on to the content of the game, and I'm just excited for it.
It's
You can tell.
it's a fresh spin on the same old thing, if you will. You know.
You could put it that way.
Yeah.
Is it gonna be standalone, or is it gonna be?
It's going to be a thing that is added to the game.
Okay.
Like a DLC.
Yeah, like that. Except it has a shit ton more content than your average DLC. I'd say that this will give you about 100 to 200 more hours of gameplay on top of the already 200 hours of gameplay. I've already gotten like 600 hours out of the game, so.
Are you kidding? Arkham has tons of content in their DLCs. Are you kidding?
Oh yeah, 15 minutes worth.
Oh no, like 15 hours. It's so much gameplay, and it is worth the cost. It really is. I can't even say that with a straight face.
Good job.
Gosh. Is that about it right there, Mr. Faz?
Yeah, I'm done here.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
I was gonna say, Alice, do you want to quickly talk about Halo 5 Guardians, since it was 11-minute video was released?
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'll talk about that. Of course, you're not going to really see anything new in the new footage. It's the same thing, but it's absolutely beautiful. It shows off the scenes, the graphics, the art style, the artwork, everything in it. It just puts a light on it. It's very beautiful in the new footage. You're not really getting anything new with this, like I said, with this footage. But Halo 5 is definitely going to be a beautiful game. It's going to be the biggest Halo yet. And if you are interested in Halo and want to see the work they put in it and how beautiful the everything is in the game, everything is just absolutely beautiful. You should check out the footage.
That's what's up. Now, onto a topic that I'm sure plenty of us know about. Refers to what we're talking about with the Phil stuff. Have any of you played Metal Gear Solid 5? Please let me know your opinions in the chat, because I haven't played it yet. But has anyone here in this humble group played Metal Gear Solid 5 yet?
I have.
How is it, Lester? How would you say it? How would you rate it? What is it?
It's great. The gameplay is great. There's a lot less cutscenes than any of the previous games. And I'm about 10 hours in, and I'm on mission number 8. And yeah, everything's been great. The graphics are awesome, especially on PC, and I don't really have any complaints about it.
That's good.
Is this one of you? Is this up there for you in like the top Metal Gear Solid games of all time so far from the amount you played from it?
Yeah, definitely.
That's what's up. Now I heard there was an Easter egg. Now, Miles, I think you know about this Easter egg.
I just looked it up. It's a PT related Easter egg.
It's not going to spoil anything, right?
I'm gonna double check really fast.
No, it's not.
I mean, I can't really comment because I'm actually playing Metal Gear Solid 4, so.
It's
It's not. So let us know what it is, Miles.
Okay.
What's this Easter egg?
Apparently there is a special place inside of a place. I'm not gonna tell where it is. It's located near some sort of border. There's a cassette player that can be found, which, if activated, will play the same news report that was looped in PT. It says the announcer this time is not distorted, and the unnerving report of a domestic murder that he reads aloud was an inescapable future in PT, and it talks about details of the crime. It's
Another
crazy.
frickin' game that was ended too early by Konami, so.
Fuck Konami.
Oh,
Rest in peace.
Here's another thing I just read about. It said the first reference a year ago, there was a reference that Lisa, the iconic ghost, was a deployable inflatable decoy.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that.
So that's the second thing that is Metal Gear Solid related.
Also, there's a Easter egg, another Easter egg. If if you remember, at the beginning of the game, you post your birthday. If it is your birthday, Motherbase will give you a birthday surprise.
Oh gosh, my
Birthday surprise.
Yes.
Now, does it come out of a cake in a thong or something like that?
No. No.
If that's the case, my birthday is in a couple hours. Actually, I'm just kidding.
Basically, like they say, "Oh, we have an emergency at Mother Base," and then they say surprise, and they give you birthday cake and stuff.
Now, you guys, I'm not into the Metal Gear series. I don't play any of them. People saw me fuck around on it for probably about 50 minutes on one of my streams, playing it like Grand Theft Auto. But I don't know anything about it. Now, what's with the box thing on Metal Gear? Like, I saw some sort of short video where someone was wearing a box on their head, and it was like used as a distraction or something. So what's with that?
That's been a part of the series since like the first Metal Gear game.
The box is the way that you basically hide incognito and you move around using the box.
Yeah.
And it's basically something you would see in a stealth game.
What's
obviously.
the box, Alice?
Oh,
Alice.
that is some slander right there.
Alice, what is a box in Metal Gear? That's like asking me what's 1 + 1.
I haven't played Metal Gear for probably 15 years, and even then I can't really remember it. I just watched someone play it.
I think we should talk about your blasphemy for not indulging in the God himself, the Bible. Everything and anything.
Oh, no.
Hideo Kojima.
All praise our Lord and Savior, Hideo Kojima.
That's not the only game he made. Come on.
Yeah,
it's not the only game he's been involved in.
I know. I'm a fan of Snatcher, and I believe the other one was Police Knots. But how dare you not play the Lord's magnum opus?
Now, in the newest, the box, didn't it have like a picture of a woman or something on it in the newest one?
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, even the box has evolved to next gen, so
everything's evolving.
Everything's evolving. So not only when you play Metal Gear Solid on your PS4, you get to see HD box graphics, but you get to see characters on your box graphics in HD.
You get to see the piss stains too.
1080p, 60 frames per second of a cardboard box. What more could you want when you buy Metal Gear Solid 5? What more could you want?
This isn't MGS5 related, but after seeing it so much on my Twitter feed, I'm giving the series a chance, and I'm currently playing through MGS1 on the free C.
That's what I'm talking about, brother. The one and only. The everything and the only thing, the free C. The only market where a poor man like myself can still pay his bills and enjoy the fine hobby of gaming without going for broke. So I can go get my ham and not shop at the dollar menu at McDonald's because that food makes me sick.
How are you enjoying Metal Gear Solid 1 since you've played it so late from everybody else in existence?
I like it quite a bit. It's definitely awesome in a way, and yeah, that it's very deep sort of gameplay. You've really got to use your head if you don't know what you're doing. I like it.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I mean, it's one of those series, like, if you're jumping in, like, every new game builds off the previous, so, like, you can jump into a new game and have some fun time, but to fully, like, grasp the story, you've got to play the other games, because each of them builds off and builds off.
Yeah.
And then you just play Metal Gear Solid 4 and you're just sitting there watching it for about 9 hours and playing about 1 hour, so.
Oh yeah, you know.
But I mean, if you're going into Metal Gear Solid 4, you're not going to have any clue of what's going on. So
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I at least want, you know, to understand the story before I get into a game.
yeah, so I mean, you can go in Series 2 and everything like that. So that's great.
Yeah, I'll be playing them in order at some point.
All right, Alice, did you have something you wanted to bring up?
Yeah, everyone's favorite feminist, Brianna Wu, apparently trying to say that Samus is transgender, which is the biggest load of shit I've ever heard in my life. I gotta say myself, I don't know why she did this, but she seemed to say that Samus is transgender. I think it's pretty shitty that she's trying to destroy one of gaming's
Hottest blondes.
not really, but one of gaming's most interesting and strongest women, and project their own attributes or political agenda onto this character or this game that's not there. I think that's really, really shitty of her to do. But yeah, Samus has a long history. I mean, during say the first Metroid, I believe, a lot of fans didn't even know that Samus was female until after, when the creator said that, before they actually unveiled it, I think, in the later games. But
Yeah, even in the very first game, you beat the game in like fast enough time, and you're treated. And it's always been part like Samus in her bathing suit.
But no. Apparently, Brianna Wu, the only person in the world who says that she's transgender. Apparently, this is true. Apparently, Samus is transgender, according to Brianna Wu, the most reliable source in the world once it comes to video game knowledge. So we should all believe her. Apparently.
Alice,
What do you guys think about that?
I want to know, why is she such a dumb cunt?
Because she is.
I don't. Maybe she has daddy issues. Who knows?
I mean, this is someone where it was proven that she actually edited the Wikipedia article herself to back up her case.
That part made me laugh.
So
Wikipedia
it's
is
just,
totally fact.
of course, 100% fact, and all my school reports and my school papers
yeah,
have
definitely.
confirmed that.
You see, she spits truth.
Wasn't Brianna
That's
Wu
just
one
real
with the
fact.
one with? Wasn't Brianna Wu the one with rich parents that got like 100K for like her game studio or some shit like that?
200, I believe.
God damn.
And I've heard, but I'm not totally sure about this. I've heard Brianna Wu herself is transgender, which if that's true, she's just projecting her her own stuff onto Samus, which is, kind of shitty. I mean, leave our video game characters alone, you know? It's already been said to be female, just leave them alone. Don't touch them. And same thing to Zoe Quinn and all those other, Tumblr feminists. Just leave video games alone, please. Just please leave them alone.
Leave video games alone.
Leave
'em
Samus alone. She's a human. Well, kind of.
All right. Well, I think this is a good point. We're actually going to go into our viewer submitted topics and see what our fans have to say about that and what they want us to bring up. So we have right here a lot of it we talked about with Phil and everything like that. So we've got right here, big one from Jose, aka Destiny Decade. Jimmy, yeah, I'm sorry if I butchered that.
That's also Mega Man NG on YouTube, friend of the show, and Gray LP here. This is how you do Let's Plays.
Yeah.
Big one for wrestling fans. Jimmy Superfly Snuka, a WWE Hall of Famer, has been charged with murder after 30 years. How do you feel about wrestling this year and all the controversies that are happening with former wrestlers doing bad decisions? Who's gonna step in the ring and take this one first?
Go ahead.
Because I really think that they're really handling all of this wrongly. I don't know.
Well, for those that don't know who Jimmy Snuka is, Jimmy Snuka was a legend in the wrestling business. He was a guy. And one of his best moments was jumping off the cage. I think in Times Square back in the early '80s, I believe. But murder happened with his girlfriend or wife back in the '80s. And there was some evidence to prove it was him, but I don't know, maybe he had a great lawyer, maybe he had Saul Goodman or whatever, but he got out of it. But almost 40 years later, they still indicted him, and I believe he's sitting in jail right now. It's been a crazy year with wrestling. The thing what Hulk Hogan said with Dusty Rhodes dying. But here's one thing about the hypocrisy of WWE. For Hulk Hogan, he said some things that were very offensive that you can consider him a racist for, and whatever. They try wiping him from history, even though if it's for a temporary amount of time. They try wiping him from history. They have to do the same thing with Jimmy Snuka because he's being accused and probably will be charged and indicted for murder. So if they don't do the same thing with Jimmy Snuka, at least temporarily, like they're doing with Hulk Hogan for saying a couple of offensive words that's not good for the business, then they're going to come off looking like huge hypocrites.
Now, do you even think part of my whole thing, because I've stopped watching wrestling years back, but I really think that now these people are doing these horrible things, and they could go ahead, they can let them go and stop promoting them and everything like that. But do you think really they should just forget about everything they've done for the business and just completely wipe them from the record books?
No. Even with a situation like Chris Benoit or anything like that, I don't think the wrestler, I don't believe that their actions in the ring, I don't believe they should be, because whether you like it or not, they are a part of history. The characters, the characters that they portrayed on television, they are a part of history. That'd be just like, let's say, if Denzel Washington committed a terrible crime and he went to jail or he said something offensive. That's like if you showed a movie Training Day, you wipe him out so he was never there, or you use a big fucking barcode to cover him up the whole time. It just makes no sense. Yes, condemn and, give the right punishment to the people that does this stuff. Suspend them if, for Hulk Hogan's case, or if Jimmy Snuka really did commit that crime, he needs to do the time. Doesn't matter if he's 80 fucking years old. It doesn't matter if they need to bring him to that fucking jail cell in a wheelchair. If he did the crime, he needs to do the time. So I don't believe that the characters that portrayed on television, the actions they did in the ring, should be, wiped away from history or anything like that, because it is a part of history. It is a part of a sport, whether you like it or not. And you just can't, erase that history that they've done as that character, as their profession.
Yeah, and I think that's totally like I mean, if you try to say, oh, it never happened, it doesn't exist, I think that's kind of counteractive to running your business, because I think it's one of those situations of like, you can go ahead, of course you got to punish the guy, they did the crime, they did the time, so on and so forth, and they've got their right punishment for the situation. But it's one of those situations that you can actually, as a company, you can say, okay, now this is wrong, this is why this is wrong, this is what we're going to do to fix that, instead of saying, oh, it never happened, we don't have a problem. Because I think, if you say, oh, it's I don't know what you're talking about, you didn't learn your lesson, and someone else is going to happen, and the same thing's going to happen until you've got a WrestleMania where they blacked out the whole screen because none of the stars are in the history books.
Word, that is definitely correct. So, yeah, I believe that, the characters that portray their profession, it has to live on, just for legacy's sake, just for everything like that, just for the merchandise and, professional whatever sakes. They, condemn the person, but what they did for the business, whether it's any sport or any profession, their history's there, and you can't just act like it never happened. You can't just be that type of revisionist.
Yeah, and I think someone mentioned in the chat too, they just recently started showing up Chris Benoit on like WWE Network and everything like that, and they put a disclaimer that, something along the lines of their wrestling counterparts are not like a characterization of who they are, or something along that line. So like, you can separate that, and you can separate the wrestler from the person, but you don't want to like remove them in what they. I mean, for the longest time, you'll have like a space in Royal Rumble where Chris Benoit won it, and you're like, what happened that year? It's like, oh, we don't talk about that year.
Word.
Yep. But this, I have a comment on that. I know this isn't completely irrelevant, but there's a phrase that if you don't learn from history, then, or, if you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it. Or I can't really remember what the exact phrase is, but I don't think that's completely irrelevant right now. But if their actions aren't around for other people to look at and learn from, I think that's kind of a tragedy here. I think, say Hulk Hogan's racist comments or whatever, I think even someone that successful can be held accountable for the things they say. And I think people can learn from that, or every other situation that happens like that. And I don't think they should try to erase that. I think they should try to learn from it. But here's another topic that I think is rather important to me, at least. If any of you out there are horror movie fans, a very successful director, writer, producer, Wes Craven passed away recently. He directed films such as, or created and directed films such as the Nightmare on Elm Street series, Scream, The Hills Have Eyes, The Last House on the Left, other iconic movies and series like that. It's a very big loss in not just the horror movie community or the horror genre, but in Hollywood or in the movie industry in general. He was he inspired a lot of younger filmmakers to create such great movies, and his movies were I loved them myself. I don't know about all of you, but I just wanted to bring this up because I feel it's a big deal to me.
Oh yeah, definitely some of his films too. We have The Hills Have Eyes, Last Town on the Left. This is a guy who started from the 70s, and he's been having a solid career ever since then, making like monument films, The Twilight Zone. He did all the Screams. So it's gonna be a loss, and it's something, it's one of those things like, yes, I feel like it is quite sad that he passed away, but at the same time, I think we should like remember all the good he did and leave with those memories instead of being like completely sad, you know.
Mm-hmm. And one of his signatures was that macabre sense of comedy, that very dark comedy and humor that he added to his horror movies. That was I thought that was his signature, or it was to me. And I think he created a subgenre of horror movies that incorporated humor into it as well. You know, the very dark humor in horror movies. And he definitely left a mark on the world and in the like I said, not just the horror genre or horror movie community, but also film in general. He left a very big mark on as well. And yeah.
Oh, definitely. Like you'll even look at all these horror films coming out. Admittedly, some are shit, but I mean, you're gonna ask these directors, like, okay, who was your inspiration to make horror films, and how many of them are gonna say Wes Craven? A lot of them, if not all of them, are gonna say, you know, he influenced them in some point or another. So I mean, yeah, it is a big loss. And you know, I think, you know, if he would have just, if he was still alive to this day, he would have just kept on making great pieces of film left and right. So it definitely is sad. That brings me to another topic. You know, we were talking about MGS5, but a user named Not Gore the Movie God lists MGS5 is great and all, but has anyone seen Paul Blart 2? So good. So it's that fine piece of cinema. Because if we're talking about, it's a great piece of cinema. I think. I think it's going to win Oscars every year from now on. Best Picture 10 years in a row. So I want to hear other people's opinions on that, about that fine piece of cinema.
Phil in 10 years.
Oh.
I haven't seen the movie. That's my best guess. That's my best guess.
And you're probably right. I mean, he'll have the scooter and everything, and he'll just drive around and just be like, "Hey, you know, I got to make money somehow. I'm gonna be a security guard."
No. Just no.
Just a fine piece of cinema. We really appreciate that. What else? Some.
Hey, listen, the rent-a-cops of the world, you know, they have a hard job. You know what I mean? You have to understand the importance of trying to stop people from committing the atrocious, the heinous, the terrible crime that needs to be remembered in the Geneva Convention of skating in a public area.
Oh, especially well, even that. I mean, just the whole like, who are you gonna call when someone comes up to the food court and actually buys the food? I mean, you have to have that security force to step in and prevent you from overpaying on a pretzel that you're going to spend $10 on. You got to have that first line of defense.
Are you serious, dude? Do you know the dangerous epidemic of people sneezing on a fucking salad? Do you understand how hard it is to be a fucking rent-a-cop in this world? There's a reason why half of them carry plastic batons, brother. And they're not looking like they're cheerleading, okay? That's a very dangerous line of work. So I respect the men with the plastic badges.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The men that show up to the 9 and 5 and they get a ride around on their scooters. I mean, those are noble beasts of transportation.
The men who buy their badges at the toy stores and the malls where they work.
No, they buy them at the dollar store.
Well, something's got to fund the fucking dollar stores. They're not making that much.
Speaking of movies, and I wanted to go ahead and bring this up since I just found it out. I don't know if anyone's seen it, but I'm not sure if you guys are a fan, but who here likes Mega Man?
Who doesn't like Mega Man?
They have announced that there is a Mega Man live-action movie coming out.
Does it say who's directing, who's starring?
It says 20th Century Fox is reportedly developing a Mega Man as a live-action film in conjunction with Chernin Entertainment. David Reddy and Michael Finfer are slated to direct it, with Peter Chernin, Mike Ireland, and Ryan Horrigan. There's no director or screenwriter yet attached to it.
Wait, isn't this the same studio that put out the Fantastic Four movies, Fox?
I don't know.
I think it is.
Yeah, they are.
So we know how this is going to turn out. Let's take an iconic character and fuck it over.
Let's not jinx that, because they're still coming out with Deadpool, and that better be awesome. And if it's not, I'm pretty sure that place is going to be burned to the ground if the Deadpool movie isn't amazing. So I mean, we'll have to see how they do that, but
It'll be burned down with criticism. I think that's what you were trying to say, my friend. But fuck the Fantastic Four movies. I mean, yeah, whatever. Seeing Jessica Alba in a tight blue outfit's all right, but the Thing looked weird. Doctor Doom looked all right. Can we get a good fucking Silver Surfer movie? Just him and his Chronicles with Galactus. Can we just please get a good, this fucking thing with the Rise of the Silver Surfer? I hated it because it should have been. I don't give a fuck about the Fantastic Four. I like the Silver Surfer better, but this Mega Man movie is probably gonna suck.
Who knows?
Okay, here's a question for you, Che. Who would you pick as your perfect Silver Surfer actor?
Oh gosh.
If he speaks, Lawrence Fishburne. Just put it in CGI and have Lawrence Fishburne or if you don't know, Morpheus from The Matrix voice him. What's up?
Who would you have to actually play the role?
I mean, I don't think it matters. I mean, just have some fucking guy in a CGI suit because he's silver. Shit, I'll do it. Fuck it. I'll skate around a little bit. Fight Galactus, go to Jupiter or whatever the hell you skate around the rings.
Could be a nice Tuesday vacation.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, you can go to hey, you can call up cell phone. Hey, I'm at Pluto. No big deal. Hey, wait, wasn't he voiced by Lawrence Fishburne in the movie?
Yep, that's what I'm saying. I think they did a fine job there, but the way it was directed and the way the movie went is just
just the sort of woe is me, I'm silver and I'm a misunderstood character.
Yeah, it was just too fucking campy for my taste.
Oh yeah. Usually you'll see sequels just completely bite the dust, and it's hey, let's reboot the franchise. Oh wait, that's one of the worst reviewed movies of all time. Fantastic.
To be honest, I think Jeffrey Dean Morgan might be able to do a good job voicing Silver Surfer.
Was that okay? Was that the comedian in Watchmen?
Yes.
Okay, good, because yeah. Hey, he was great as a comedian. He was a fucking jackass, but that's the way the comedian was, and I think he played him perfect.
Oh yeah, me too. That's my favorite movie, actually.
You know what we should get? We should get a freaking comedian spin-off.
I've been saying this for years.
I don't see why they can't do it. Make it a prequel. Make it just put him in his own movie, and it's gonna be amazing.
Mm-hmm. And have the same guy direct that as who did Watchmen.
Sure. Folks, I'm very interested in this, and I want to hear your guys' opinion on this. What is your thoughts, okay, on Konami removing MGS5 fan art from Twitter for copyright infringement, even though Kojima himself gave it a retweet? What do you guys think of that?
Fuck Konami.
It's bullshit.
Hashtag fuck Konami.
Who's Konami?
What?
Konami is a big joke.
Girl, have you been living under a rock?
What? Who's Konami? I don't know. Are you talking about Hideo Kojima? Because I know that guy, but I don't know Konami.
Konami is the name of the rock you've been under the past 20 years.
Yep.
Well, anyways,
Uh,
Konami is
Konami
studio
is the name
behind.
of the rock that I got hit in the head with.
Whoa,
Yeah, I was the one who
really?
did it. Sorry,
Yep. It's all good.
Why?
Who are you?
I'm nobody.
You want to hear?
Anyways.
You want to hear a good joke? Konami.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's so good. It's so funny.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
I love the Konami jokes in the chat. Let's see the best ones you can come up with, chat. The Konami jokes.
Yeah.
Fuck that company, dude. The pachinko machines, the way they treat their employees, the fact that even if you have no sound, just gameplay footage, the motherfuckers will try monetizing your content, even though I don't freaking monetize any of my videos. It is ridiculous. Konami is the Phil of the gaming developers business, or whatever you want to say it. This guy is, I mean, these people are out of fucking control. These must be the same people that are Phil's lawyers, or they must work for Machinima too. Do they do that at night? Do they work for Konami during the day and work for Machinima at night? They're like two peas in a pod. Jesus.
Fucking hell, you cancel Silent Hills and you're like, we're gonna make a Silent Hill game and it's gonna be a pachinko game.
Here's a twist. Here's what if this were, listen to this. What if Konami and Machinima's lawyers were the same at the same time? And what if Konami and Machinima were the same company?
Oh.
That'd be a big plot twist.
But the sad thing is, you're gonna see like Konami like kill all these franchises, but Metal Gear Solid, that's a cash cow. So you know they're gonna do another Metal Gear Solid game,
Oh, they're gonna reboot it.
and you
They're
know
gonna
it's gonna be fucking awful.
Actually, this goes into another topic that's on the viewers submitted topics, and there's actually one of them has to do with. Well, I'm trying to find it again. It says that Metal Gear Solid 5, I think it is on this topic. Oh yeah, it contains the de novo DRM and it requires daily internet checks to run.
On Steam or
I don't know. It's just what Sign Long said. It says recently it been known that Metal Gear Solid 5 the campaign contains the de novo DRM and requires daily internet checks to run.
Well, I think for the physical copy of Metal Gear Solid 5 on a PC, you had to install Steam and download it through there, which is a bunch of bullshit. That is just ridiculous. What's the point? Let's just sell a freaking a gift certificate as a code and just let them download it off there. What's the point of having a physical copy if you have to be online and download Steam in order to play the damn game?
Because really, didn't their physical disc just have like enough files to make you open Steam and download the game there?
Yes. It was pretty much like an 8 megabyte Steam installer. That's
Oh
what
my
the disc
fucking
was. So you had to download the whole game anyway, even if you had the disc.
Yeah.
that defeats the purpose of having a physical game if you're just having to like. Oh my god!
You know
So
why?
what?
That's why I love GOG.com. That is I like Steam, but GOG.com is my number one place to go to with physical games because it's DRM free. Fuck my speaking today, and they have such a great amount of games. So if you don't know about that website, check it out. It's great. DRM free games, but what the hell is Konami thinking? I mean, I'm telling you, bro, they're gonna have a CD out or whatever, DVD, whatever. They put the game on with a built-in fucking quarter machine. 50 cents to install it and 75 cents to fucking uninstall it.
I mean, you're gonna
fucking ridiculous.
You're gonna have to fucking take your computer in to have them install the game, and you're gonna come back and you're gonna have this nice big thing right here that every 15 minutes of play you got to put in another corner, put in another quarter, put in another quarter.
Well, you know,
Wait, Fizz, how big is it? Look at the size of that package.
Look at the size of that package.
oh, well, you know, we can always go to the fucking, side of the river like this is fucking Dawson's Creek and film that shit. I fucking hate that show. I hate that show.
Considering the joke that Alice made, I guess now would be the time to say hi, KG.
Hi,
KG.
Look at the
How you
size
doing,
of that
buddy?
package.
KG,
Golly gee.
Dawson's Creek ended in the mid 2000s. Stop acting like it's that fucking show with the damn water. hate that shit. Stop. It's stuck in my head.
Also, Lester, you had something to say?
Speaking of DOZ, they just announced that they're gonna put Fallout 1, 2, and Tactics back on GOZ, so set that up.
Thank God.
GRM free.
That's right. Fallout 1, 2, and Tactics back on GOG.com if you're into old school role-playing games or old school computer games and you can handle turn-based and a lot of clicking. Check it out. I guarantee you will not be disappointed. Just remember 2 things, folks. Get the fucking game and play it.
I have something to bring up here. Okay, Guild Wars 2. It's a game. It competed with WoW for a while. I thought it was great. It was notoriously pay to play, but recently they made it free to play. And I was wondering what you guys think about that. But what do you think about the free to play platform in general?
Well, that's tricky because you got to distinguish the fact from free to play and then pay to win. So a lot of these, like, yeah, in general, because a lot of this, and like the big thing was when the PS4 launched, the big thing was that fucking whatever that DC Heroes game was, whatever that was called, like DC Universe. It was free to play, and you could download it and play it and everything like that, but it would like limit your progress down to like the lowest you can do unless you actually paid for the game.
Yep.
So I mean, it can work, and we've seen a lot of examples of free to play working, but you gotta balance between, okay, is it truly, if it's free I can get the game for 100%, versus, okay, I'm going to get about 50% of this game, and then the other 50% it will be limited to unless I actually pay a monthly cost.
Alice, don't you play a well-known free-to-play game?
Actually, I pay a membership for it, but yes,
What?
I do. I pay membership for RuneScape, and I have paid membership for RuneScape for a very long time.
You completely fucking nullified the question I was going to ask you, you fucking jackass. I thought you were playing it for free.
Oh no, I've probably paid membership on RuneScape. When I play it, I pay membership, but I've been playing it off and on for over 10 years easily, but I haven't had membership for 10 years since I play it off and on.
Damn it. Well, that nulls my question. I was going to say, hey, Alice, how's RuneScape's free-to-play business? Can you play the fucking game? Can you do the shit that you want to do on there? God damn it, she just said that she paid for it.
Okay.
I have to say, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, you were going first.
No, go ahead. I was just going to say there's a game on the Vita that was called Destiny of Spirits. That was a good example of free-to-play. It's no longer around anymore, but check it out on YouTube if you're interested, because it was one of the few examples that got it done right.
So, okay, my thing is, like, you got to think of, like, all these games that start out as a paid subscription and then go to free-to-play. So I want to ask you guys, if you think a game has a paid subscription and then doesn't get enough membership to go to free-to-play, do you think that's a failure on the game, or just a way the gamers are telling, like, why are you charging a monthly cost? Because a lot of people view it, if a game goes free to play, a lot of people think, oh, it was first a monthly subscription and now it's like free to play. That means the game sucks. It might not mean the game sucks. A good big example of that was recently Elder Scrolls Online. Started off as a paid subscription, and then they realized that they weren't getting the numbers, and then now it's free to play on PS4 and Xbox One, and I play the game and I love it. But I mean, you got to think, like, okay, does that mean the game failed, or does that just mean nobody likes paying for games every month?
I think it means that they're trying to get more numbers. I think it's a numbers thing. I think they're trying to bring in new users, but not try. They're trying to reel people in, and then get people playing and get them liking it, and then say, you know, try to, since people like it, they'll be more likely to spend money for it. And they're trying to get more new users. New users are more likely to play your game if you don't charge them money to do it, you know? So I think they're just trying to get in more users. And I don't think it reflects whether it's a good game or not. I just think it reflects, them wanting to get more people to play it. I don't think it reflects the quality of the game at all.
Not true. I mean, it's hard to really judge, because I mean, you'll see countless games like Knights of the Old Republic and just all these games that just start off a paid subscription, and then you read like all these news articles saying, "Oh, the game's going free to play," and then, "Oh, people didn't play it. It must be terrible." So it must be kind of like disheartening or something like that.
Yeah, for the people who've been paying for a while for games like that, it must be a little disheartening to see that I've been paying for this for a while. Someone gets to play it for free now. It's like a slap in the face for the faithful people that have been paying for it. But there's always some sort of benefit to paying for it.
Oh yeah, they'll unlock the last like 25% of the game for you if you actually pay for it. So that's a bonus. I mean, you
Give
could
me
actually,
money, okay?
yeah, you can give money and you can actually play the game the way it was intended. So that's always a bonus. But it's, I don't know, as I think that's the thing I see constantly with all these free to play. And it's like, okay, they started off with paid description, and then that's a way of saying the game failed as what it was intended by going to free to play. And I don't think that's the case. I just think they should know that the audience nowadays don't like paying every month.
I agree because I think a lot of people, a lot of gamers nowadays don't, not just gamers, people don't want to pay for digital goods anymore. Like, why should I play this game if I have to pay for it when I can just go and pirate some other game that's just as good, if not better? So people don't really want to pay for stuff anymore. They just, want to pirate it or move on to something else. So I can understand that. I don't think it reflects the quality of the game at all.
Oh yeah, I mean it is what it is. This is, yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of things involving money and free to play and whatever involving paying some amount, what the hell is going on with these microtransactions in Metal Gear Solid 5? I've heard people talking about it quite a bit on Twitter, but I don't have the game, so I'm not informed on that. I heard it was kind of a fucking ripoff what they're doing.
Oh, it is.
Tell me about it.
From what I can tell from it, they're using that to basically speed up your. I don't remember the term right now. I can't think of it. The mother base. That's what it is. Mother base coins. I'm reading this thing right now. Mother base coins are used to speed up things and extend your mother base, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I'm not sure, but I'm reading this, showing pictures and everything. Yeah, I see what it's saying. Sorry if I'm not really being really. Oh, building FOBs. You build FOBs with the microtransactions.
Oh, I was thinking that it was like a bunch of text or clan-based games out there, like those mobile clan-based games where if you pay for these tokens or whatever, it will take away the wait times or the respawn times for different things.
Yeah.
So you don't have to wait as long to do things again. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it does that too, I think, but majority of it opens up more FOBs.
So, from what I'm seeing from it, these microtransactions not only benefits players in the 1 versus 1 multiplayer mode, it also boosts the rate at which players can earn resources and other currencies in a single player game. So it's kind of like a 2-for-1. You get a boost in the online and the offline.
Mm-hmm.
I hate microtransactions.
We all.
Yeah.
I mean, for fuck's sakes. I mean,
Excuse me, guys.
this is my thing with fucking people, dude. If you're gonna spend like $50 to be OG or MLG or to boost your character up in online, then why play it online? If you buy a game and you're thinking of investing time into a multiplayer mode, you gotta know jumping from the gate that it's gonna take a little or significant amount of time to become good at the game. So don't fucking complain when people are fucking telling you that they think it's stupid that you should pay your way to a top of a fucking game that you pay money for. It's not a free-to-play game. People already have to buy the base game $50, $60 or whatever, but these fucking people drop a little bit of cash and they could be OG over everyone else in a fucking multiplayer component. That's bullshit for a game that you have to pay for at the base. You know what I mean? What the
Yeah.
hell is that? I mean, you're gonna have to invest some time, so don't give me that bullshit. I don't have no time. Well, you know what? Don't buy a multiplayer game then, because you're gonna invest nothing but time. That's the whole point of playing a multiplayer game.
That is true.
I can understand like cosmetic items and stuff. Like if you want to buy your character some cosmetic items or new music or new action, like what is the term? New actions, like not to buy new moves, but new
Dances or something.
yeah, like emotes and stuff like that. But well, anyways, that's not different actions and stuff like that. Emotes or cosmetic skins for your character, or vehicles or weapons. Like I can see that, but nothing that gives you a tangible advantage over other players. I don't like that.
Neither do I.
I really hate, like, in the case of, okay, Metal Gear Solid 5, now, like, microtransactions are bad to begin with, but people need to keep in mind that they're optional. So I really hate when people, like, look at the game itself and then they say, oh, the game is near perfect except for microtransactions. I mean, okay, granted, they're optional, and if you pay for them, then you're going to basically suffer the consequences of having to pay 50, 60, $70 out of your own money for this game. But I don't think it should detract from the game as a whole. I don't think you should really like lower the score for an optional thing that you can or can't get and it won't ruin the game,
Yeah. I feel you, but
Jay, let me say one thing really fast.
go ahead.
Since we're on the topic of online multiplayer right now and Metal Gear Solid, there was on the viewer submitted doc from Tyler Hansen. He asked if the SOK was going to be playing online with fans and viewers. So I just wanted to bring that up and say that I know I am. Definitely on the
What
PS4.
system would you? PS4?
Yeah, I have PS4.
Yeah, I'm telling you, whoever's on PS4, whatever systems Phil's playing on, y'all got to find a way to raid that base.
I'm planning on it, trust me.
Word, because I want to see that. I want to see him rage. I want to see all the saw. Hey, you guys got to take down that base.
All your
Sounds
base
good
are
to me,
belong to
take out
us.
DSP. Yeah.
All your lanes belong to us.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Listen, motherfucker, you better get out of my lane.
Oh,
All your
jeez.
lanes belong to us.
All Phil's base belong to us.
No chance to survive.
Ha ha ha.
You've got no sense.
No chance.
No chance. Now, okay, Lester, I want to ask you, like, how exactly, and I know this really isn't like a spoiler, but it's just a general thing, like, how can you go ahead and you can actually, like, find somebody to raid their base?
I think that if they're on the pharmacy list, you can rate them. If I remember correctly. Or I guess you could search for their username.
Oh, if you can search for their username, Phil's got the most, like, easy name to know.
But,
Oh.
yeah. So,
And then is there not, like, any, like, so if people wanted to actually raid Phil's base, there's not any, like, do you have to, like, wait before you can, or...
you can't raid anybody until like a certain mission.
Hmm.
So
Listen,
yeah.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if that base got any money in it, Panda Lee already beat us to it.
She probably stores all her soap in there.
Yeah, so she probably already beat us to the punch. We're gonna find nothing but freaking dust balls and fucking Weedles or whatever the hell you call them.
It's gonna be awful. I tell you what.
So
I'll tell you
we
what,
don't
Bobby.
find any Husko.
I tell you what.
Whoa.
Oh,
Oh,
Bobby, I told you not to go in that vault.
You know what? I could see Panda Lee being like Peggy Hill in like 20 years.
Learning
I know
Spanish.
everything, Phil. I know Spanish. You know, Senor El fucking Estumado, fucking let's go to Burger Kingo or whatever the hell.
Let's
Playing
go
in
to
the state
McDonald's.
Boggle Championships.
Up. She went from being Meg to when she was a teenager to Peggy Hill when she's in her 40s.
she'd be like, I'm Panda Lee. She'll have that really annoying thing.
So I mean, if she's Peggy Hill, does that make DSP Hank Hill?
Oh,
Wow.
No,
I'm gonna block you.
he's Bill.
Yeah, I would say Bill. It's like in some alternate universe where Bill got with Peggy. Peggy
Exactly.
Hill?
Oh no.
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
Oh my god.
Is there?
Shit.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Does that make KG Bobby?
Damn it, Bobby.
Damn it, Baba, I told you not to make love to them horses.
Damn it, Bobby.
I told you, damn it, Bobby. I told you stop playing them damn Japanese games.
Baba, I told you to stop stop getting all fascinated over that package.
God damn it, Bobby! I told you to stop taking out your wing wang and put it in the water. What the hell's wrong with you, boy? That's not how you make babies.
Well, actually, DSP is Bobby because they both got gout.
Oh,
Tell you what, Bob, what the hell are you talking about, KG? You say you're gonna stick your wing wang in the water and raise a leviathan? Are you crazy, boy? I
That
don't know.
boy just ain't right. You talking about them damn horses.
I tell you what, Bobby. I tell you what.
Tell you what.
tell you
What?
what.
Oh, good lord.
Keeps talking about horses and horses accessories.
I told that
Damn
kid
it,
not
Baba.
to sell horses and horses accessories. That's not part of the
All right.
family business.
All right. And on that note,
Yep.
I want to thank everyone for coming to the podcast. That is tonight's podcast for you, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you for putting up with us. You know, I just want to, for the people asking where was Fred at, he's busy with personal stuff. So all the best of luck with him. So we know everything's okay, but we just want to let you know for the people that were asking in the chat. Hope you had a good time listening to us and put up with all these mentally ill motherfuckers.
Guys,
So it's time to do what's up.
I got one more announcement.
All right, go for it.
Oh, go ahead.
One announcement. I got an email from Sir Water today, or yesterday.
Okay.
It says that the SOK series money is going to be sent to Ethiopia.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Really? Well, you know, that is awesome. Your money's getting sent to Ethiopia,
Yes.
and we hope to continue to hear good things about the campaign.
So that's my. That's it.
That's awesome right there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And to sign off with startups, Alice, where can we find you at, and what have you been up to?
You can find me at 7incontext on Twitter, and you can generally find me annoying people on Twitter in real life, everywhere else. So yeah,
Yeah, you can find her at the local clown college.
yep.
Next up, we have Miles. Same thing. Where you at, buddy, and what are you up to?
Just find me on Twitter at Miles S Reset. I'm also starting to do. I'm gonna do a stream tomorrow. Actually, but I know it's gonna be a lot of spoilers for people. But I'll probably be streaming Metal Gear Solid 5 here on Hitbox under Miles Above. That's my new YouTube account name as well, and my new Hitbox account. had to make a new one due to some problems. So, anyways, you can find me on all of that. So, yeah.
All right, next up, we have Dr. Fizz. Same thing, buddy.
You can find me, Dr. Fizz, YouTube, Twitter, anything. It's the same username for everything. I haven't really been up to much because I've been traveling a lot for work, so there's not much I can do being on the road for so long. So,
Word. Next up is Freddy Fazfuck.
My Twitter is at TTSBB1, and you can find me on YouTube at Freddy Fazfuck, where I'll probably get to uploading the stream that I did. I think it was last Friday. I did Infamous 2 on hard mode at 100% in one sitting. That lasted about 14 hours, so expect that to go up at some point. But yeah.
All right, Lester, where can we find you, and what have you been up to lately?
You can find me on Twitter at Lester. You can find me on YouTube at Tribulation Watch. You can find me on Twitch at Anokafo. I stream sometimes. Or you can find me here every Thursday night on Hip Hop's TV Sons of Kojima every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Western, 1 p.m. Hawaii.
All right, and you can find me at Retrospective PC, and if you want to know what I've been up to and what I'm going to do, just check on there and add me if you want. Retrospective PC. Thank you for watching tonight, and I'm going to do my best Fred impersonation. We love you. Go fuck yourselves. Twice.
adios, everybody.